Hello everybody and welcome to another video. It's been quite a while. I've been pretty busy lately, but basically a brand new season of my SMP will be starting in about a week from when this video releases. So that would be Monday, September 1st, 2025. It falls on exactly Labor Day if you live in the United States. So basically what this means is that my SMP server is basically going to be starting from scratch. We're going to have a whole new world. We're going to have existing members that have played on previous seasons playing on here. Maybe we'll get a few new players in here. And if you guys are, any of you are watching this video from maybe like a few months, maybe even 6 months to a year after this video releases, you could still join the server. You could still join in the middle of the season. We'll still let you in. Again, you might be a little bit behind on stuff, but we should have like a shopping district and stuff built up by then, and you should be able to catch up with everybody else relatively quickly. So that shouldn't be an issue. So if you're discouraged from joining because everyone's going to be way ahead of you, please don't. We'll get you caught up pretty quickly. Alright guys, so the simplest way to join the server, it could be whether you're playing on Windows, console, mobile, whatever. You can join the server on any platform that's running the latest version of Minecraft Bedrock Edition. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to go up to the Friends tab up here, and then you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says Search for Players. And you'll wait for this to load. You should be able to just type in, right here, StormyLand space S, just like that. You'll see the guy right here. There'll be like a little add button right here. I'm already friends with him. Basically, you're just going to add this guy as a friend. And then it might take a few minutes, but after a while, it should pop up in your Worlds tab down here. You can see it right here. StormyLand Survival, Season 3. Still got the thing there. For some reason, colored text doesn't work in the new UI, but you see this one right here. Right now, it says Season 9 because the server's currently running on Season 9, but soon it'll be Season 10. So yeah, it'll pop up right here, and if you don't want to go that route, you can always just add a server. So you just go here to add server, and type it in. Doesn't matter what you call the server name, it could be anything. Server address is StormyLand. Oh, no wait. It's survival.stormyland.org, and the port is 19135. So it's just like that. I'm not going to add it because I already did. Basically, you just click on Add Server or Add and Play. It should put you right in the server. But yeah, I already got it down here, so yeah. So what we're going to do now is we're going to hop into the server. So we'll go right here, click on this. Basically, it'll connect you to a multiplayer. Be like joining a friend's world. Sometimes it doesn't work. Usually joining a second time usually fixes it. And as you can see, we are in. Waiting for this to load here. There we go. Alright. Now we are in. I mean, this server is running on probably this server is probably running on like the best possible hardware that a Bedrock dedicated server can run on. So like any lag is actually software related and not necessarily hardware related. So I'm going to turn these sounds down though. It's ridiculously loud. Here we go. Don't know why. My settings reset sometimes during updates. I'm not sure why. Yeah, this is the Season 9 world. We've been on here for maybe about 8 months. So we're going to go over to spawn here, and I can show you what we all built. So we head over here. We're almost there. Here we go. So as you can see, we got some railways built. We got some... this looks like a small little town here. Building a wall around a little fortress around a town. Got a castle right over there. Doesn't look like that's finished yet, but that's fine. We got a greenhouse. We got an apartment building. We got we got like a big glass dome here. We're in a snow biome. We were in a snow biome at spawn, so we built a shopping district inside of this glass dome, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, this season hasn't been as active as the last one, and I'm guessing it's probably mainly because of the spawn. So we're going to have a little bit of a better spawn next season, so you don't have to worry about that too much. So yeah, this is basically the server itself. I mean, people base far away, people base close to spawn. I mean, there's actually some pretty impressive builds on this server if you actually just go out and explore. I mean, I'm not going to do that this video. I have a separate world tour video that kind of goes over all of that. And yeah, in a couple of weeks too, I'll have a world download on the website that you can then download this world, check it out for yourself, or if you're watching this video before Season 10 starts, you can join the server and explore it yourself. Alright guys, so if any of you guys are looking to join this server, it is a whitelisted server, but it is really easy to join. Basically what you're going to do is you're just going to visit the website in the description, or you can go to a web browser and just type in StormyLand.org. This will take you to the official StormyLand Survival website. And basically, you know, this is the home page. You got just some screenshots of some builds from some previous seasons. Basically, this button right here, the Join StormyLand tab, this is where, you know, if you want to join, you can do. Basically, there's an Apply to Join button here, and there's a Join our Discord. So if you click the Apply to Join button, this will bring up a Google form, and all you really need to do is just fill this out. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. You can just fill it out. Basically, there are some fields here, like, you know, you can enter your email address in here if you want to keep up to date with, like, server updates and your submission status and stuff. Not a required question. You can leave that one blank. Basically, everything else, I believe, is required. So, but this is just some basic questions. I mean, it doesn't really matter if you say you're a noob, we'll still let you in. It doesn't matter. That's just mainly just like a, I don't even know why I put that question in there, but I think it's just a thing to deter griefers. I made this form like 4 years ago, so yeah. And then we also got this button right here, join our Discord. If you want to join our Discord server, you can do that. Basically, you can just click on that, and I'm already a member of it, obviously. But that'll take you right to our Discord, and you should be good to go. Alright, and yep, and another thing here, we also have an Anarchy server. You see the address and port right here. This is a Bedrock Java crossplay server, so you can join on Bedrock or Java Edition. I believe it is any Java Edition version you can join from, but you can only join from the latest version of Bedrock Edition. I think that's how that works. And then we have the World Downloads tab. This is where you can download previous seasons, previous world saves of previous seasons. So that could be pretty useful if you want to explore Season 1 that was back in like 2018, 2019, and Season 8 was last year. Alright, so there's only maybe like 2 more things we need to cover. Right now we're going to cover the rules. Yeah, I mean, not really. I don't think barely anybody wants to hear about the rules, but, you know, SMP servers like this do have rules, even though they're not like, they're mainly just common sense stuff, like basic SMP server rules, like please don't grief other people's builds, don't steal other people's stuff, don't hack, don't cheat, don't, you know, hack items into the game, don't use illegal enchantments, don't use fly hacks, stuff like that. Those are the main 3. And you also got like the common courtesy stuff, like don't build, like for example, I'm trying to see if I can find an example here. I mean, people on this server have actually been pretty good about this one, so I don't know if I'll be able to find an example of this. But like, let's just say like you see a build like this, or even just like a small little base like that. Let's put this for example. You see a base like this, and then you get this whole plains biome here, then someone decides to build their base like right here, right next to their base. You know, will you get banned for that? No, but I mean, it's just one of those things that's kind of annoying. You know, don't build so close to somebody's base if you got the whole biome that you can basically got all this plains biome where you can build, and you just build right next to someone else's base. I mean, it's mainly annoying, and you're not going to get banned for it, but yeah. And then the second thing is using external tools like Chunker or obtaining the world seed and creating a world with an identical seed to find structures within the world. I don't care if you're using it to find things like trial chambers or villages or witch huts and stuff, but when you start using it to find strongholds and stuff, that's kind of defeats the purpose of certain things. Like, someone just goes ahead and finds a stronghold right away by using Chunker. I don't really like that. You're not going to get banned for it if you do, but it's just kind of frowned upon. And then the other thing is, this might cause a little bit of a controversy, but speed running the game. Please, if you join an SMP server like this, and please don't speed run it. Please don't be like, oh, I'm going to go fight the Ender Dragon like 30 minutes in, and then just kill it without her. But basically, the Ender Dragon fight's supposed to be a community thing, so don't just go speed run the game and go fight the Ender Dragon yourself. It's just kind of mean. Will you get banned? This is actually something that you might get banned for, because it kind of makes a lot of people mad when people do that. I had one player last season do that, and it made a lot of people mad. Then he also hoarded all the elytras. So, yeah. So that's basically all the rules. Basically it's just common sense stuff. Like, most people will agree with these rules, except for people that grief. So, yeah. Then the other thing I'd like to mention is some of the server add-ons. So this server mainly we try to keep a vanilla experience, because, it's a vanilla SMP. We're not going to add any mods or add-ons that add new blocks or anything like that. But we do add things that are like, basically just quality of life things. So, you're talking about, one big thing is creepers. Sorry. Basically, creepers will not do any damage to blocks on this server, mainly because, you're walking through spawn, you're walking by someone's base, a creeper blows a hole in their base, you don't have all the resources to fix it, and then somebody's like, oh no, someone griefed my base, and nobody really griefed, it was just a creeper explosion. So basically, creepers don't do anything on this server. Creepers are basically harmless. Another thing is one player sleep. So basically, only one player needs to sleep in a bed to skip today. That's a vanilla feature, just a game rule that I enabled, so that's fine. And then the other thing is the craftable elytras. Now this is a new thing that's going to be for Season 10. And when I say craftable elytras, I don't mean like you can just bypass the end entirely. Basically, you need an elytra to craft an elytra, if that makes sense. So basically, there's a crafting recipe. The recipe itself includes an elytra, but then when you craft it, you get 2 elytras in return. Basically, this should solve the elytra hoarding issue, where people go out and raid all the end cities within a reasonable distance, and then now there's some players that can't get their hands on elytras because they're all raided already. The crafting recipe is quite expensive. It requires nether stars and netherite and phantom membranes and stuff, so it's still a challenge, but it's just one of those things that it is mainly stuff that is farmable. So when we get into the late game, elytras might become somewhat common, but I feel like that should be fine, because in the late game, most people are working on their builds anyways, and if everybody has an elytra, it just makes everybody's life easier and lets them focus on their builds more. And alright, so one last thing that I should probably go over is basically, this season's going to be a little bit different. I recently moved, and I kind of live out in the middle of nowhere, so access to broadband internet's a little limited. So basically, I got Starlink internet. I host the server from home, so basically the server is running over Starlink internet, which works fine for the most part, but when you get like a 50,000 foot tall cumulonimbus cloud over your house, the server might go down for a few minutes. There isn't really much I can do about that. I'm currently waiting on Spectrum to run cable down the road, which they haven't yet, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. So, like I said, if there's storms overhead, the server might go down for a few minutes. you should get notified. And if you join the Discord, you should get notified, and you should also get notified in game if there's severe weather approaching the area. But like, that just basically gets triggered if there's a severe thunderstorm warning, which, well, not all thunderstorms are severe, so I'm trying to figure something out for that, but currently, basically it's something I'm still working on. So just so you guys know, you might get, if you get randomly disconnected, it could be because there's a storm in the area. Doesn't happen very often, mainly happens in the summer. Once we get into the winter months, it shouldn't happen at all, because, you know, I live in an area where it gets really cold in the winter. We get a lot of snow. Snow doesn't seem to affect it as much, so, and, you know, we don't really get bad storms in the winter besides blizzards and stuff, but that doesn't really affect it. So yeah, so that's just one little thing that I thought I'd throw out there. So yeah, but if any of you guys are interested in joining the server, feel free to visit the website that I showed you. I'll have a link to it in the description. You can fill out the forum, join the Discord, reach out via email. I'll have all that. So yeah, so again, thank you guys for watching. Peace out.